Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So welcome everybody to this special session of this Gita course where we are discussing Nityananda Prabhu's glories. We titled it as Nityananda Kathamritam. If you can hear me clearly and if you can see me properly, can you please give me some confirmation? Thank you. Just a second. I will just make some last minute adjustments. And some people are messaging me for the link of today's session. I will just message them. Okay. So today we will directly go to the Mangalacharan. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahem Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswata Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langhayate Giram Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So very happy to see all of you again. Today's session is a very special session. I didn't want to take or miss any chances to discuss the name, form, qualities and pastimes of Lord Nityananda. And all this is being done because of the Nityananda Trayodashi, which is upcoming on 14th of February. So we have to prepare our consciousness for that. So therefore, this session has been kept. Question, why couldn't we do it on the 13th of February? There is another session which is upcoming on 13th. Because I felt time is too less. 1 week is not enough. We need to hear more and more. So therefore, we are discussing Nityananda Kathamritam today. We are all looking for a relationship which is unconditional, unmotivated and uninterrupted. And we have not yet found that relationship till now. I'll just pull it closer. We have not yet found that relationship till now. But our relationship with Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda is that relationship which we are all looking for. How many of you, I think all of you have heard about Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Just to give you a jump start, there is this very famous statement, Vrajendra Nandana Jai Shachi Sutta Hoilo Sai Balarama Hoilo Nitai. So the scriptures have confirmed and said that Vrajendra Nandana Jai, Vraja means Vrindavan, Nandana, Vrajendra means king of Vrindavan, Nandana means son. So Vrajendra Nandan, that means the son of the king of Vrindavan, that is the son of Nand Maharaj, that is Krishna. Vrajendra Nandana Jai. So one who is Krishna, Shachi Sutta Hoilo Sai. He has become the son of Mother Shachi. So Shachi is the name of the mother of Lord Chaitanya, and Jagannath Mishra is the name of his father. So Vrajendra Nandana Jai, Shachi Sutta Hoilo Sai. So the same Vrajendra Nandan Krishna has become Shachi Sutta Krishna in Kali Yuga. Balaram Hoilo Nitai, and Lord Balram has become Lord Nityananda. So this is the confirmation from the scriptures. There are various other proofs in various other parts of various other scriptures. In the Srimad-Bhagavatam also there are various places, especially in the 11th canto, chapter 5, shloka number 34 onwards. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yajnai Sankirtanai Praya Yajantihi Sumedashaha. So the Bhagavatam says Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam. They are talking about that incarnation which is same Krishna, but Tvisha Krishnam. His color, bodily complexion is not black or blackish. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam, that means his bodily complexion is golden. Tvisha Krishnam, Sango Pangastra Parshadam. In the age of Kali Yuga, he will come with his friends, associates, companions, and weapons. Sango Panga Astra Parshadam. Yajnai Sankirtanai Praya. He will kickstart the Sankirtan movement, which is the movement of congregational chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the movement where people chant the holy names of the Lord congregationally, purifying even the upper planetary systems by raising their hands. Actually, raising hand is very scientific, It's mentioned in the scriptures that those who chant the names of Krishna and raise their hands up in the air, by their raising of hands, even the upper planetary systems is purified. So please do some service. Raise your hands always. Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yajnaya Sankirtanaya Praya Yajantihi Sumedasha. The last line of this verse of Srimad-Bhagavatam says that only those who are most intelligent will be able to identify this personality as the supreme personality of Godhead. Rather, only those who are most intelligent will worship Lord Chaitanya. Yajantihi Sumedasha. One who are most intelligent in Kali Yuga, whose intelligence is not destroyed by the curse of sense gratification and material conditioning, they will worship this supreme personality of Godhead. Various nice glorifications are mentioned in the various other Puranas also. Many other verses are also coming in the mind, but I'm just choosing the most appropriate verse. There is a verse. Dhyayam sada paribhavagna abhishtadoham tirthaspadam shiva virinchinutam sharanyam bhrityarthiham pranatapala bhavabdipotam vande mahapurushate charanaravindam. About Lord Chaitanya, it is said, what is the first line? Dhyayam sada paribhavagna abhishtadoham. So Dhyayam, this personality is so great. The Bhagavatam says this personality is so great. Dhyayam sada. One should meditate on him always. Dhyayam sada. Paribhavagna abhishtadoham. All the forest fire of material existence, which is burning constantly in the core of our hearts, dhyayam sada paribhavagna abhishta, and all the unfavorable activities and the unfavorable materialistic desires, negative demon-like desires which are there in our heart, will be destroyed, will be taken away. Tirthaspadam Shiva Virinchinutam Sharanyam. All the holy places, this personality is so great, Lord Chaitanya is so great, that all the holy places reside at his lotus feet. Tirthaspadam. Many devotees complain, I'm not going to be able to go to Vrindavan, I'm not able to go to Mayapur, Navdeep Mandal Parikrama is starting, this is happening, that is happening, Jagannath Puri is there. No problem. Just worship the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda with faith. All the holy places you have already visited. Tirthaspadam Shiva Virinchi Nutam Sharanyam. Even the greatest personalities like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are constantly offering obeisances to Lord Chaitanya. Mrityarthiham pranatapala bhavabdipotam. The greatness of this personality, Lord Chaitanya, is that he is very much concerned about his servants and devotees. His only concern is how to deliver his devotees. Bhrityarthiham. He wants to work in the favor of his devotees. Pranatapala. And he maintains everybody. That's why one of the names of Lord Chaitanya is Vishwambhar, one who maintains the entire universe. And Bhavabdi Potam. The word Potam means a boat. And Bhava is this great ocean of birth and death. And in this ocean of birth and death, we are stuck in the cycle of birth, disease, old age, and death. And lifetime after lifetimes are passing. But my material madness or my material conditioning is such that I have become happy in this Bhava Sagar. And Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet is like that boat. Bhavabdi Potam. If I catch hold very tightly to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, I will cross over the cycle of ocean of birth and death. Vande Maha Purushate Charanaravindam. If somebody can worship the lotus feet of this Mahapurusha, the word Mahapurusha, especially in the Indian subcontinent, is thrown away just like that. Even the politicians are called as Mahapurush. First of all, you have to understand nobody deserves this title Mahapurush. In the Hindi language, they say, Aap Purush hi nahi, aap Mahapurush. But that is not the correct way to address. The word Purusha means enjoyer. And Srila Prabhupada often explains that in this material world, there is not in the material world, in the whole existence, there is only one Purusha, that is Krishna. And everybody else is Prakriti. For example, in this lifetime, I have the body of a male. So technically speaking, I am a Purusha in the worldly dealings. But actually, I am a Prakriti. I am not supposed to be the enjoyer. I am supposed to be enjoyed by Krishna. This we have to understand. So I am not Purusha. I am a Jivatma. The Purusha is Krishna. And Bhagavatam is telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Mahapurusha. He is the supreme enjoyer. So who is the supreme enjoyer? Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. So here we get full hint and full confirmation that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. So like this, in various other scriptural places, it has been mentioned. Rupa Goswami, when he met one of the principal acharyas of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, when he meets Lord Chaitanya for the first time, he offers a prayer. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Nama. He offers obeisances and he says that I offer my respectful obeisances to the most munificent personality of Godhead. Most munificent personality. Mahavadanya. Why? Krishna Prema Pradayate. You are giving love of Godhead. You know, other incarnations gave dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But you are giving something even higher. Love of God. Love of God is such a rare thing. That's why I keep saying in the sessions again and again that love is very rare. There is no such thing called as love in the material world. And distributing the supreme love of God in the material world is the highest welfare. It is inconceivable. That which has never happened is happening now. And Lord Chaitanya is doing it. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. He is not speaking like Lord Krishna. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. The degree to which one is you surrender to me, to that degree I will reveal myself to you. That is Lord Krishna. But the same Lord Krishna, when he comes as Lord Chaitanya, he says, I don't care whether you qualified or whether you are unqualified. I will catch hold of you and I will give you the mercy. That is Lord Chaitanya. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. I will not give you religiousness. I will not give you satisfaction of material desires. I will not give you wealth. And I will not give you liberation also. I will give you something which is even higher than that. Love of God. Having attained which, there is nothing else left to attain. Having attained which, liberation stands with folded hands at your door, waiting for you to take some service from you. Waiting for you to take some service from her. Mukti will stand with hands folded. That is the greatness of this love of God. And this love of God is being freely distributed. So therefore, the scriptures agree, confirm, and establish that the most munificent incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna, being the supremely independent personality of Godhead, whenever he meets somebody evil, he just kills him. Dharma samsthapanadhaya sambhavami yuge. He meets a demon, he takes the Sudarshan Chakra, finishes him off. But Lord Chaitanya doesn't kill anybody. He kills the demonic propensity in the hearts of the people and delivers them. That is the difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. Please take note. Lord Krishna will kill the demons and establish the dharma. But Lord Chaitanya will kill the demonic propensity in the hearts of the people and make these demons have a change of heart. This is the difference in the mercy of Lord Krishna. Both are the same personality. Rajendra Nandana Jai Shachi Sutta Hoilo Sai. Both are the same personality, but there is a difference in which both the incarnations are working. Both the mood, Lord is carrying different mood in both the forms. So therefore, the Acharyas agree that Lord Chaitanya is the most munificent form of Lord Krishna. He understood that people in Kali Yuga cannot handle God. They will say, oh, what is this? Lord Krishna is telling, surrender unto me. How can he speak like that? So Lord Chaitanya, he understood our shortcomings and came down to our level, Kali Yuga level. And he became his own devotee, Bhakta Rupa. He came in the form of his own devotee. He himself chanted, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He himself chanted Hare Krishna and showed everybody how to experience the love of God, how to follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita. Apane Achari Prabhu Jivera Sikhai. By following himself, he taught everybody else what is the principles of Dharma. This incarnation of the Lord is in the most munificent category. That is Lord Chaitanya. And if this mercy of Lord Chaitanya takes a form, the embodiment of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Nityananda Prabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Balram. Now, sometimes Prabhupada says, what is the difference between Balram, Hoilo, Nitai? So Balram has become Lord Nityananda. So what is the difference between Krishna and Balram? You are telling, Prabhuji, you are telling both are Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes, both are Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Prabhupada says that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Balram is the Supreme Servitor Personality of Godhead. When God takes the mood of a servant, that is Balram. Let me give you a little bit of hint who is Balram. First of all, what is the difference between Krishna and Balram? Again, Srila Prabhupada says that there is no difference. The only difference between Krishna and Balram is the color. Krishna is the color of a fresh monsoon cloud, and Balram is the color of a fresh spring cloud, that means whitish. And the difference is in the mood. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he is the supreme servitor personality of Godhead. And then there is no other difference apart from this. So let's try to understand, if we really want to understand who is Lord Nityananda, we need to understand who is Balram properly first. So there is a book called Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, the Shiksha set which we had circulated, which many of you took. In that there is a book called Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. In the 7th chapter, I think there is a chapter called the Incarnations or Avatar. So there it very categorically explains how Krishna has unlimited expansions. So the first expansion of Krishna, the primary expansion of Krishna is Balram. So I'm just not getting into the extreme technical details. You can study that book and make a flow chart and send it to me, and I'll share it with everybody. But the first expansion of Lord Krishna is Balram, and the second expansion of Lord Krishna is Srimati Radharani. So both Balram and Srimati Radharani are not different from Krishna, but they carry different moods. And from Balram comes the Adi Chaturvyuha. So 4 personalities again expand. Balram expands into 4 personalities: Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Vasudeva. And these 4 personalities, they maintain the entire spiritual world, spiritual planets. Now, from the Adi Chaturvyuha, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Vasudeva, from that Sankarshan, another expansion happens that is called as the secondary Chaturvyuha. Again, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudeva, they come. So each Chaturvyuha expansions have specific roles and responsibilities. From the second Sankarshan of the second Chaturvyuha comes Maha Vishnu, which is also commonly known as Karano Dakshai Vishnu. Now it is this Maha Vishnu who lies down in the causal ocean and breathes in and breathes out. And when he breathes out, from the pores of his body, billions and trillions and zillions and quadrillions of universes come out. They come out from the pores of his body. And when he breathes in, all these universes, they go back into his body. One breath of Mahavishnu, according to the earthly calculation, it is of the size of 311 trillion 40 billion years. That is one breath of Mahavishnu. 311 trillion 40 billion years. We cannot imagine how complex the creation of the Lord is. So this Karano Dakshai Vishnu, when he breathes, millions and billions of material universes are created. And then Karano Dakshai Vishnu glances at all these universes, and then through his glance, this living entities, the souls also enter. And then he himself further expands himself. Karano Dakshai Vishnu will further expand himself and enter each and every universe as Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. So at the bottom of each and every universe, whether big or small, our universe is the smallest universe. That is the information from Srimad-Bhagavatam. So therefore, the Brahma of our universe has only 4 heads. There are other universes where Brahma has 8 heads, 16 heads, 32, and then like that 1,000, 10,000, million heads Brahmas. The things are much more bigger and much more complex than we can possibly imagine. And Karano Dakshai Vishnu, after he has created these universes, he enters each and every universes, and at the bottom, at the Garbha of each ocean, he creates water from his own body and lies down. That's called as the Garbhodak ocean, and he lies down in the Garbhodak ocean. Therefore, he's called as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And then from his lotus navel sprouts a lotus flower. And on that flower, the first living entity of that universe, that is Brahma, appears. And then Brahma receives the knowledge. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Mugyanti Yam Suryaha. The first verse of Srimad-Bhagavatam says that Brahma received the knowledge directly from heart-to-heart transmission from Garbhodakshai Vishnu or Krishna, you can say. And then Brahma, the primary creation is done. If you read the second and third canto of Bhagavatam, the primary creation is done. The secondary creation is being assigned to Brahma. But then when Brahma is trying to create, nothing is working. So therefore, Garbhodakshay Vishnu further expands himself as Kshirodakshay Vishnu, or that form of Lord Vishnu who lies on the milk ocean, Kshirodakshay. And he enters each and every planet, each and every atom, and also becomes the Paramatma in the heart of each and every living entity. So that's how the things are working. Everything starts from Balram. A plenary expansion of the plenary expansion of the plenary expansion of Balram is Maha Vishnu. And in his Yoga Nidra only, he's doing so many things. He's creating universes. He's entering all the universes. He's entering each and every atom. He's becoming Paramatma. The form of Lord Vishnu is these demigods often interact with, meet, is Kshirodakshay Vishnu. They can't even meet Garbhodakshay Vishnu and forget about Karanadakshay Vishnu, which is a plenary expansion of the Sankarsham of the second Chaturvyuha, which is coming from the primary Chaturvyuha, which is coming from Balram. And Balram is coming from Krishna. So, we are talking about that Balram, who is the source of all Vishnus. I say Krishna is the source of all Vishnus because ultimately all Vishnus come from Balram, and because Balram comes from Krishna. Therefore, I say Krishna is the source of all Vishnus. But since today we are talking about Krishna and Balram, so we'll specifically say that Balram, having manifested from Krishna, Balram is the source of all Vishnus. Now, although Balram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he's creating so many things and he's handling so many things which we cannot even possibly imagine. But although being so great, he's extraordinary. Although he is the absolute truth, but he's extraordinary because the only desire which Lord Balram has is to serve Radha and Krishna for eternity. This is his only desire. If you meet Balram somewhere and if you ask him what do you want to do, he will say, I want to serve Krishna. That's all. And he wants to do it for eternity. This is the meaning of Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadhyanavritam Anukulyena Krishnanu Sheelanam Bhaktiruttama. Having no other desires other than to please Guru and Krishna. We talk about Guru. The Adi Guru or the Guru Tattva is Balram. The origin of all Guru Tattva is Balram. Bala, he gives us Bala, he gives us strength. The strength to chant fixed number of rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day. The strength to follow the four regulative principles of no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. The strength of continuing and avoiding bad association. The strength of reading the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam. The strength of always eating Krishna Prasad. That spiritual potency, Bala, by which one can remain enthusiastic, determined, and patient in this path of Krishna consciousness is provided by Balram. So we all should remember that without the mercy of Balram, we cannot become a devotee of Krishna. So therefore, Balram is Guru Tattva. And the same Balram has now descended in this Kali Yuga as Nityananda Prabhu. We cannot even imagine whom we are dealing with. Brajendra Nandana Jai, Shachisuta Holo Sai. Our Lord Chaitanya is not some plenary expansion of the plenary expansion of the plenary expansion of Krishna. He is Krishna himself. Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna only has become as Krishna Chaitanya. We are so fortunate. We did not deal with some plenary expansion. We dealt with the avatari. We did not deal with avatar. We are dealing with avatari, the source of all incarnations. Krishna and Balram have descended as Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda in this Kali Yuga. My spiritual master, when he came to Bangalore, he said, once in a day of Brahma, Krishna comes. In a day of Brahma, Krishna comes once. There are 1,000 Yuga cycles in one day of Brahma. 1,000 Divya Yuga cycles. That means 4 Yugas is one Divya Yuga. And 1,000 such Divya Yuga cycles. So in the 28th Divya Yuga cycle, once in a day of Brahma, Krishna comes. And sometimes Lord Chaitanya comes. After Krishna has come, sometimes Lord Chaitanya comes. And very rarely, Srila Prabhupada comes. My spiritual master told this. I am still able to remember this point. And I feel so fortunate that I am in that period of this Kali Yuga, in the Bharat Varsha, in the Jambu Dvipa, in the Shvetwaraha Kalpa of this existence, where I'm having access to these pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And I'm having the mercy of Srila Prabhupada through his books and his teachings and his lectures. I cannot describe to you how fortunate I am. And similarly, all of us are very fortunate. It is very rare that such coincidences happen. 5,000 years ago, in every Dwapar Yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, doesn't come. Some other incarnation will come. Krishna will not come. In every Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya doesn't come. And very rarely, pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada come to deliver the unadulterated message of God. So we should not miss this. We should not miss this opportunity. Lord Nityananda is extremely merciful. Extremely merciful. The mercy of Lord Nityananda has unlimited prospect and inconceivable hope. I repeat, the mercy of Lord Nityananda has unlimited prospect and inconceivable hope. This 14th of February is Nityananda Trayodasi. Only the most fortunate, yajanti hi sumedhashaha, only the most fortunate people will prepare their consciousness for it, and they will receive the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu in their life. The whole of Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita is filled with nectarian pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Lord Chaitanya is a person who doesn't see who is qualified and who is not qualified. Simply, he says that if you can just chant Hare Krishna and if you can just bow down before me once, I will give you love of God. I will not give you liberation. I will give you love of God. But Lord Nityananda's mood is, you don't want love of God, you don't want mercy of Krishna, okay, you run. You run away from here. I will catch you and I will forcibly give you love of God. That is Lord Nityananda's mercy. In one of the, one devotee was explaining to me how the mercy of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda Prabhu works. He was telling, Lord Krishna is like that board of examinations. Suppose sometimes you give an exam and the examiners or the board of examination will do their best to pass you. No matter whatever you write, they'll pass you. So Krishna is Karuna Sindhu. Simply if someone can chant Hare Krishna, follow 4 regulative principles, associate with the devotees, just do these basics, he will take us back home, back to God. So Krishna is like that board of examinations who is giving you an examination paper and telling you, just try your best, we will take care. Lord Chaitanya is like that person who comes to you before the exam and gives you the entire question paper with the answers. And he tells that you read these questions, you read these answers and just write this and you'll be passed. And Lord Nityananda is that kind of personality who comes to your room and he says, you don't even come to the examination hall. Here is your answer sheet, just write your name. No need to write the answers also. I will take you home back to God. That is Lord Nityananda. So I was just laughing and laughing, but I am seriously appreciating what that devotee told me. It is indeed like that. The Supreme Personality of Godheads, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they are eagerly waiting and they are doing everything possible to take us home back to God. Most wretched and wicked people, a person who does not get attracted to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they can be branded as the most unfortunate, wretched and wicked souls. By hearing the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, if somebody's heart does not start floating in transcendental ecstasy, then there is no hope for them. Because such a display of giving mercy has never been seen. Anarpita chiram chirat. Never was it heard of, and never will it be heard again in future. So that is Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Nityananda Prabhu took birth in a place called Ekachakra Dham. It's very close to Navdeep Mayapur. Not very close, quite distant. But yeah, it's in Ekachakra. He was the son of Hadai Pandit and Hadai Ojha and Padmavati. Chaste wife, Padmavati, and a very qualified and sincere and upright Brahmana, Hadai Pandit. It is said that when he took birth, Lord Nityananda was of the complexion of butter mixed with gold. White, fresh butter mixed with gold. That was the complexion of Lord Nityananda. And everybody, when they saw Lord Nityananda, they forgot who they are and who they were. It appeared that the entire population of Ekachakra was there always in the house of Hadai, just immersed in the pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu. Just like when we sing that bhajan, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. When I say Vraja Jana Ranjana, it means one who gives so much happiness to the people of Vraja. So similarly, Nityananda Prabhu in Ekachakra Dham had become Ekachakra Jana Ranjana. He was immersing the people of Ekachakra into an ever-expanding ocean of bliss through his pastimes. The whole village would find some reason to go to the house of Hadai just to see Lord Nityananda. Nityananda is Balram, and Balram by nature gives happiness to everybody. And day and night, Nityananda Prabhu used to play with the other children. And the parents were very happy that my child is playing with Nityananda. Please go and give happiness to Lord Nityananda. And until he wants to play, you play with him. Don't come back. We have never heard of such thing. Generally, parents say that you come back. When I was a small child, I went out in the morning to play. And then I didn't have lunch or anything. The whole day I was playing. And in the evening, when sun was set, late after sunset, I was coming home. So my father was waiting for me at the door, and he'd already scolded my mother that why do you allow him to do such things and all that. And when I came home, the first thing which my father told that, why are you coming home? You stay out only, sleep out in the night also. Why are you coming home? So I remember that. And then after that, I got some nice treatment also. But in Ekachakra Dham, the system or the culture was opposite. Everybody used to say that you go and play with Lord Nityananda, give him happiness, then we will be happy. The parents used to speak like this. And what Lord Nityananda used to play? He used to enact the pastimes of the Lord. He would enact the Krishna Leela, he would enact the Rama Leela, and so on and so forth. And these were 5-year-old, 6-year-old children who had not read the Vedic scriptures, who didn't know the Mahabharata or the Ramayana or anything, who had no idea of Gita. But the pastimes which they were enacting were exact descriptions, word by word, or what is written in the Vedic scriptures. And guess who was the director of this place? Nityananda Prabhu. Child Nityananda Prabhu. So the villagers would go out in the morning. They would wake up at 2 a.m. They would have bath, do their japa. And 5:30, they used to go into their fields to work. And then towards the evening, they would come home. And all they had was to assemble and just look at the plays or the dramas enacted by Nityananda Prabhu and party. And when they used to go to sleep, they used to see Lord Nityananda and his dramas in their dreams also. Such was the blissful life of the people of Ekachakradham. And then the people were wondering how that Lord Nityananda is enacting such accurate pastimes. They would ask Lord Nityananda, how are you doing all these things? So Lord Nityananda, child Lord Nityananda would smile and say, these are my pastimes. And everybody would laugh and nobody would believe. But Lord Nityananda was speaking the truth. But one day something very strange happened. A strange looking stranger, mendicant, sannyasi, came to the village of Ekachakradham. Hadai Ojha was the father of Lord Nityananda was more than happy to welcome him. 500 years ago, that was the culture in India. They wouldn't put the beware of dog board on the gate. Rather, they would welcome the saintly people. Even now, this culture is there. They want to welcome saintly people at home. I'm very fortunate to have come from such a family. In my house, when I was a small child, when some saintly person would come, my grandfather would welcome him into the main room and give him his own bed, and he would sleep on the floor. I remember that vision where he would make the guest or the saintly person sleep on the bed, and he will sleep on the floor. And I would be wondering, why is he doing all this? But now I understand, that's the culture. That's Krishna consciousness. So, Hadai Ojha welcomed that unknown sannyasi. And he served him very nicely. And when that sannyasi was about to leave, as a matter of etiquette and gratitude, he said that if you please need something, let me know. My house is yours. My farms are yours. My cows are yours. My property, everything is yours. You please ask if something you want. I promise that whatever you ask, I will give you. And then that sannyasi asked for something which was not expected. He said that, give me your son. I need one person with me to roam around the holy places in the country. A thunder cracked in the heart of Hadai Ojha, and Padmavati, as soon as she heard this, she lost her consciousness and fainted and fell down on the floor. We cannot imagine what Hadai Ojha and Padmavati were going through when they heard this. But being true to the promise which this saintly gentleman had given Hadai Ojha, he actually gave away Lord Nityananda to that sannyasi. And 12-year-old Lord Nityananda, when that sannyasi had come, walked away with that sannyasi, and the Chaitanya Bhagavat describes that he didn't even look back. Needless to say that Hadai Ojha and Padmavati could not survive the separation from Nityananda Prabhu, and they even in few months they quit their bodies. And the whole village, we cannot begin to describe what the village was going through. Anybody would go to that village, they would find people crying in different corners. They wouldn't tend their cows, they wouldn't go to their field, they wouldn't go to their works. Grass had started growing in their kitchens. They would drink little buttermilk once in 2 days. Because all they had was that they would just sit and cry. That what was the need for Hadai Ojha to give away Lord Nityananda to that unknown sannyasi? And that was their only meditation, that why did Hadai Pandit give up? And in this way, in a trance-like situation, all the villagers of that village quit their body. But the scriptures explain to us that it was Lord Nityananda only who manifested himself as a sannyasi, and he himself came and took himself out from that situation. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya, in this incarnation, Lord Chaitanya is 10 years younger to Lord Nityananda. Lord Chaitanya had appeared on the planet, and Lord Nityananda wanted to be ready to receive him and join him as the father of the Sankirtan movement. 12 years passed. He kept on roaming. One day, he was in Vrindavan, and Lord Nityananda was in Vrindavan, and he went to a cave in the Govardhan. And he knew that one of the personal associates of Lord Krishna, whose name is Sridham, is still waiting there. When Lord Krishna was riding the chariot with Akrura and going to Mathura, the gopis were trying to stop. Krishna was not listening. So he thought, let me also try. So he went quickly back to his home and made a very nice porridge, kheer, which Lord Krishna used to love. He would stop his plays, he would stop his cow tending and everything just to eat that kheer. So he thought that probably if I make that kheer and if I bring, then maybe Krishna will stop and eat this kheer and then go to Mathura, and by that time we will just deal with this Akrura. So he went home and he made that kheer and brought it in front of the chariot as it was leaving. But Lord Krishna had something else in mind. He is the supreme independent personality of Godhead. Who can make him wait when he doesn't want him to wait, when he doesn't want to wait? So Lord Krishna told Sridham that, you know what, I want to leave now. You wait and I will come and eat this kheer later. Sridham said, no problem, I will wait. And then Lord Krishna again went a little distance, turned back and said, you know what, I may take some time. So better you don't wait. But Sridham said, no, I will keep waiting. And Sridham kept waiting. Yugas passed, and now it's Kali Yuga. So Nityananda Prabhu knows that Sridham is still waiting because Nityananda Prabhu is Balram. So he goes to that cave and then he shouts out the name Sridham, and then Sridham comes out and he says, who are you? And then Lord Nityananda says, I'm Balram. But he says, how can you be Balram? Balram is so gigantic and you are like, you know, in Dwapar Yuga, people were, you know, very tall. It is said that, you know, the average height or Lord Krishna as a baby only was 7 feet tall. So you can imagine the height of an adult in the Dwapar Yuga. So that was the difference. And he said, how can you be Balram? You are so tiny. So he said, no, I am not Balram. I am Balram. And by this time, Lord Chaitanya had sent a message to Nityananda Prabhu that time has come for us to start the Sankirtan movement. Please come. When Gaur Purnima will be approaching next month, that is now the Magh month going on. In the Trayodashi or the 13th day of this Magh month is Nityanand Trayodashi. And in the month of Falgun, on the Purnima is Gaur Purnima. When Gaur Purnima will come, then I will explain to you the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya prior to meeting Lord Nityananda. So now Lord Chaitanya wanted to start the Sankirtan. He had sent Sankirtan movement and he had to send a communication from heart to heart to Lord Nityananda that time has come to deliver the whole creation. So Lord Nityananda was going to Navadvip, but on the way he wanted to carry Sridham also, the best friend of Krishna. So Sridham came and he said, I don't believe that you are Balram. If you are Balram, then you have to prove it. So Nityananda Prabhu said, I will prove it. So Sridham said that only Balram could defeat me in a race around the Govardhan mountain. That means you start running around the Govardhan mountain and only Balram can beat me. So Nityananda Prabhu said, I'm up for this. Let's run. And then all of them started, and when Nityananda Prabhu and Sridham, they started running. Nityananda Prabhu was tiny and Sridham was big. But still in that way only, Nityananda Prabhu defeated Sridham, and then Sridham accepted that, yes, you are Balram. And then Sridham immediately asked, if you are Balram, then where is Krishna? So Lord Nityananda said that our Krishna is doing Sankirtan Leela in Navadvip. You want to meet him? And then Sridham said, yes, I want to meet him. So then Lord Nityananda, first he reduced the size of Sridham, and then he brought him with him. And therefore, Sridham of Krishna Leela became Abhiram Thakur of Chaitanya Leela. Again, that's a different pastime altogether. So yesterday I was reading about Abhiram Thakur. So he is a great personality, pure devotee of the Lord. So in this way, Lord Nityananda ultimately came and met Lord Chaitanya, and both of them, they started the Sankirtan movement. And Lord Nityananda is somebody who completely understands the mood of Lord Chaitanya. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya's job was to deliver various people, atheists, nullists and voidists. But Lord Chaitanya, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was a high-class preacher. He would preach to great acharyas like Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, or he would preach to big Mayavadi sannyasis like Prakashananda Saraswati. But what about the fools, rascals, ruffians and the thugs, whom the people of the Vedic society don't even want to associate with because of their wretched, unclean activities? So Lord Nityananda went and delivered these kind of people. It is said that if Lord Chaitanya wouldn't want to give his mercy to someone, then Lord Nityananda would do something to ensure Lord Chaitanya to give his mercy to that person. So therefore, if we say that Lord Chaitanya is the most merciful incarnation of God, then we can certainly say that Lord Nityananda is more merciful than Lord Chaitanya also. So therefore, I made the statement that there is unlimited prospect and inconceivable hope in the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is Guru Tattva, and he knows the mind of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and he engages us very, very nicely. So therefore, there is a very nice bhajan. I will just sing few paragraphs, one paragraph of that. Let me open it and share with all of you. So just see this. This is a song written by Narottam Das Thakur. You may have seen it earlier. I may have sung it earlier. But this third paragraph is coming to my mind. But I will sing from the beginning. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Toma Bina Ke Goyalo Jagat Samsare Toma Bina Ke Goyalo Jagat Samsare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Na Pai Beara Mosama Patita Prabhu न पाइबे आरा। हा हा प्रभु नित्यानंदा, प्रेमानंद सुखी। हा हा प्रभु नित्यानंदा, प्रेमानंद सुखी। कृपा बलोकाना करो, आमी बड़ दुखी। कृपा बलोकाना करो, आमी बड़ दुखी। Narottam Das Thakur singing, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More, please be merciful to me. Toma bina ke dayalu jagat samsare. Other than you, who is that merciful personality who can actually deliver me? And why you are coming? Patita pavana hetu tava avatar. Those who are fallen, wretched people who are not up to the platform of even rendering devotional service. You have come to deliver them. But guess what, my dear Lord Chaitanya? Mosama patita prabhu na paibe. You will not find any other person who is as fallen as me. This is the mood of a devotee. He always thinks that he is the most fallen. So he's saying, Mosama patita prabhu na paibe. You are patit pavan, you are delivering the fallen conditioned souls, but kindly understand that I am the most fallen here. Or nobody is fallen in the way I am fallen. Let's put it like that. Sometimes, the exhibition of false ego also comes in this way, that, oh, I am the most fallen. Amongst the fallen also, I am the most fallen. That's also another kind of false ego. So nobody is as extraordinarily fallen in the way I am fallen. So you please deliver me. And then Narottam Das Thakur is praying to Nityananda Prabhu that you are Premananda Sukhi. Ha ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi. In the material world, everybody is crying in separation from Krishna. In the cycle of birth, disease, old age, and death, everybody is dukhi. And therefore this place is called Dukhalayam. But Lord Nityananda is Premananda Sukhi. He is inundated, his heart is inundated with the bliss of Krishna consciousness, and he is the happiest person in the whole creation. So, Kripa Balokana Karo Ami Bodu Dikhi. You please cast your merciful glance upon me. I am very miserable. Like that, Narottam Das Thakur is praying. So, Lord Nityananda is Premananda Sukhi. So, that is Lord Nityananda. Dina hina jata chiro hari nama uddharilo tara sakshi jagai madhai. This is the statement of Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. So this brings me to the pastime of Jagai and Madhai. Now, how have I ever told you the pastime of Jagai and Madhai? If yes, can you please type? Can you please remember? If you remember me telling the pastime of Jagai and Madhai, please raise your hands. Okay, only 2 people are raising their hand. Does this mean that I should repeat? Can I say it again? Okay, 4 people. What about others? Okay, please lower your hands. How many of you would like to again hear the pastime of Jagai and Madhai? Or hear the pastime of Jagai and Madhai? Please raise your hands if you want to hear it and purify our lives and existences. Usha Venkateshwaran is telling, please repeat. Shobha Dhanraj is telling, please, would like to hear again. That means definitely I have told it. But the thing is that I keep giving so many classes that I don't remember in which class I've said what. So therefore, I asked you this question. But anyways, it's always blissful to again and again and again and again and again and again keep hearing the pastimes of Lord Krishna and his associates. One day, this is the time when Lord Nityananda has met Lord Chaitanya, and both of them have started the Sankirtan movement in Navadvip. So one day, Lord Chaitanya calls Lord Nityananda and says, Suno, Suno Nityananda, Suno Haridas, Sarvatra Amar Agya Koroho Prakash, Prati Ghare Ghare Giya Koro E Bhiksha, Bolo Krishna Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Like that's Lord Chaitanya ordered. I mean, this is how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has put it in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This means Lord Chaitanya told, Suno Nityananda, Suno Haridas, come here. Sarvatra Amar Agya Koro Ho Prakash. Go and tell about this order which I am giving to everybody. Prati Ghare Ghare Giya Koro E Bhiksha. You please go door to door in every house and beg. Don't order, beg. What you have to beg? You have to tell everybody, Bolo Krishna Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. You ask everybody to chant the names of Krishna, Bolo Krishna. You ask everybody to Bhaja Krishna, that means worship Krishna. And you do Koro Krishna Shiksha. And you give the signs of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam to everybody. This is what Lord Chaitanya ordered. And he said to Nityananda and Haridas to do this. Nityananda Prabhu, in transcendental ecstatic love of Lord Chaitanya, he said that look at this, look at our Lord Chaitanya. Although he is the crest jewel of the Brahmana class, Lord Chaitanya was in the body of a Brahmin. He was Jagannath Mishra, son of a Brahmin. So Lord Nityananda said that look at this crest jewel of Brahmanas. Although he's there, he's a Brahmana, but he orders like a great king. That Suno Suno Nityananda, Suno Haridas. But this is Lord Nityananda's inconceivable brotherly affection towards Lord Chaitanya, and that's why he speaks like this. But Lord Nityananda followed each and every word of what Lord Chaitanya said throughout his life. Can you please close the door? So immediately Haridas Thakur and Lord Nityananda, they went out to preach. And they went door to door and begged everybody that please chant the holy name of Krishna. Please worship Krishna. And please preach about this Krishna consciousness to others. And Lord Nityananda, it is described, he was 7 feet tall, broad chest, thin waist, whitish complexion, extremely beautiful, just like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Supreme Personality of God. And he would go to every door and he would fall down at the feet of the person and beg that he please chant Krishna's names. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami puts this incident like, it appeared that a golden mountain is rolling in the dust. And that was the comparison which Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gave. Same Balram in the previous Leela, when he was Balram, anybody would say anything against Krishna, or anybody would say anything against any devotee of Krishna, he would immediately take his club and thrash his head. We see that pastime of I think marriage of Samba or marriage of Aniruddha in the Krishna book. So he's playing dice with Rukmi, and Rukmi is cheating, and the king of Kalinga is laughing, and the other demoniac kings are supporting. So Lord Balram became very angry. He didn't do any discussion. He just took his club and with one shot, on the spot, he killed Rukmi, the brother of Rukmini. And then he caught hold of the king of Kalinga and he said, you were laughing very much. And then he broke all his teeth. And all the other kings who were supporting, he broke their hands and legs. That is Lord Balram. When Samba wanted to marry the daughter of Duryodhana, her name was Lakshmana. When he wanted to marry the daughter of Duryodhana, so somehow they had captured Samba. So Lord Balram came and told that you release Samba immediately. I may be wrong with the name of Samba is the son of Krishna, basically. I may be wrong, maybe getting the name of the son wrong, but he came, Lord Balram. All the people of Dwarka were coming to attack Hastinapur, but Lord Balram said, no, I'll just go and handle it. And then he came single-handedly and then came and spoke in the assembly that you please release him. Anyways, in the Vedic custom, the custom was that if a man held the hand of a woman once, then she can be married only to him. That was the custom. That was the level of chastity which people used to follow in those days. Now everything is gone. So Balram told, anyways, she has been kidnapped, or she has been taken up by this son of Krishna. So anyways, you can't marry her to anybody else. You marry and now let release. Anyways, we are in friendly relationships. So at that time, the people of Hastinapur, they got angry and they started speaking bad words about Lord Krishna, Dwarka. Balram couldn't tolerate this. He went outside the city of Hastinapur, took his great plough, Hala. He hit the ground of Hastinapur and started dragging the entire Hastinapur into the Ganges. Like the whole city was moving. Everybody could see that we are moving and the palaces were falling down, trees were falling down, landslides were happening and everything. The land of the entire Hastinapur area started overturning. And so then they understood that it's not good to give anger to Balram. Then the whole Hastinapur, Bhishma and Duryodhana and everybody came running and they fell at the feet of Balram and expressed their apology and gave both the son and the daughter back. That is Balram. But the same Balram, when he comes as Lord Nityananda, he falls at the feet of people and begs them to chant Hare Krishna. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya has ordered him to do so. Now we should understand how great is the love of Lord Nityananda for Lord Chaitanya. And if somebody loves Lord Chaitanya or Lord Krishna like that, then we cannot even begin to imagine how much Lord Krishna or Lord Chaitanya will love that person back. So therefore, I said that even if Lord Chaitanya doesn't want to give his mercy to someone, Lord Nityananda can do something to ensure that Lord Chaitanya, who is the supreme independent personality of Godhead, will be forced to give his mercy to someone if Lord Nityananda wants. And this is something which happened in the Jagai and Madhai pastime. The Haridas Thakur and Lord Nityananda, they went and then they saw that in the corner of in one place in the village, a lot of commotion was going on and a crowd was there and they were seeing something. So Lord Nityananda and Haridas, they went through the crowd trying to understand what's going on. They saw two very unclean drunkards sleeping on the ground and hurling abuses at each other. This was going on. And then all of a sudden, both of them started crying. And they got up and they embraced each other and started wiping each other's tears. And then the next moment, they took stones and started hitting each other. Everybody was confused. What's going on? So Lord Nityananda asked one of the villagers, what's going on? Why are these two behaving like this? So the villagers informed that these two are Jagadananda and Madhavananda, commonly known as Jagai and Madhai. They are the black sheep of their family. Although they took their birth in pristine, pure, cultured, disciplined, Brahmanical families, but due to bad association, they have degraded into the Mlechhas. People even below the Shudras are called Mlechhas. Mlechhas are those people who do not follow the Vedic culture. And Yavanas are those people who do not follow the Vedic culture and eat the cow also. So they went below the Mlechhas and Yavanas category also. It is said that there was no sin which the human mind can conceive and think of which Jagai and Madhai had not done. They would literally study the scriptures every day and they would find out, okay, today let's murder our own spiritual master. Tick, and then they would go and murder. Today, let's rape a pregnant lady. And then they would tick and then they would go. Today, let's burn the house of something. Today, let's do this. Today, like they would read what is there in the scriptures. Let's slaughter a cow or do whatever. They would go out and do, and then they would give a high five to each other. Yes, we have done this also. That was the degree of sinful mentality of Jagai and Madai. We cannot begin to imagine how sinful they were. See, they were so sinful that Yamaraj had to appoint a separate department in Yamlok just to keep track of the sinful activities of Jagai and Madai. And Chitragupt had, or the accountant of Yamaraj, who actually keeps track of the pious and the impious activities of every living entity, he had appointed an separate department just to keep track of the activities, the gloriously sinful activities of Jagai and Madai. And Yamaraj, Chitragupt was telling Yamaraj that, you know what, we have these many kind of hellish planetary systems, but the kind of activities which Jagai and Madai have done, they don't fit in any hellish planet also. We have to design something separate for them. And Yamaraj was telling, like, I'll go and talk to Brahma and I will get back and things like that. That was the degree of sinful life which they were leading. So Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, they approached Jagai and Madai. And they said, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. They just repeated the words of Lord Chaitanya. But this Jagai and Madai became very angry, furious. Their eyes became red. It appeared that their eyes will come out of the eye sockets. And they said, you are asking us to chant the names of Krishna? Do you know who we are? And like that, they became so angry and they took some knife and swords in their hand and they started chasing Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was little elderly in age. Haridas Thakur is the incarnation of Brahma in Chaitanya Leela. So he being little elderly, he started running away. So Lord Nityananda was also started to run behind Haridas Thakur. And then Jagai and Madai were chasing. And it was a very transcendental chase. And then they went and reported to Lord Chaitanya that today we met two brothers, Jagai and Madai. It is said that there is no sinful activity in the whole creation which they have not done. And when we asked them to chant Hare Krishna, they chased us with swords and knives. So Lord Chaitanya became angry. He said, who is this Jagai and Madai? I will immediately invoke my Sudarshan and I will kill them. So immediately Lord Nityananda said, my dear Lord, please don't do this. At least give me one chance. Lord Nityananda was thinking in his mind that my dear Lord Chaitanya is known as Patita Pavan. Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara. Now nobody is as fallen as this Jagai and Madai. The name of my Lord as Patit Pavan will be fully established if he gives his mercy to this Jagai and Madai and delivers them. Then there will be no doubt whatsoever that my Lord is absolutely a Patit Pavan. Like that, Lord Nityananda was thinking. And Lord Chaitanya could understand. And he said that just because, my dear Lord Nityananda, because you have desired their welfare, so they are already delivered. Like that, Lord Chaitanya made a statement. And Haridas Thakur went and secretly talked with Advaita Acharya. When we say the Panch Tattva mantra, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, in that Advaita Acharya, he is the principal Acharya, who is the combination of Maha Vishnu and Sadashiv, who took part in Chaitanya Leela. So Haridas Thakur goes to Advaita Acharya and he starts talking about Lord Nityananda. That you know what, Lord Nityananda almost got me killed today. He took me to Jagai and Madai, and after going to Jagai and Madai, he said, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha, and then chased us with swords and knives. My dear Advaita Acharya, you know how mad Lord Nityananda is? He jumps into the Ganges and then a crocodile comes next to him. He holds the crocodile in his armpits and asks him, the crocodile, to chant Hare Krishna. That is what this Nityananda is doing. How can I keep up with this Lord Nityananda? You know, cows are grazing in the field and he catches some cows and milks them. And then the milkmen come and argue with me. Sometimes he starts playing on the banks of Ganges with some boys and he will play with them for some hours, and after that he'll start fighting with them. And then he'll sometimes beat them up also and then vanish away. And then the parents will come and fight with me. So nobody can understand the transcendental pastimes of Lord Nityananda, because after all, he is Premananda Sukhi. He is the source of all happiness. Lord Shiva is constantly meditating on Sankarshan. And the source of Sankarshan is Lord Balram. So whenever Lord Balram would dance, Lord Shiva would appear in an invisible form and touch the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. And sometimes, he would ride on a bull. Lord Nityananda would sometimes ride on a bull. And he would look up to Lord Shiva and say that I am the original Mahesh. And Lord Shiva would offer his obeisances. These are the inconceivable pastimes of Lord Nityananda. He is Avadhuta. He is so much in bliss of Krishna consciousness that no rules and regulations apply to him. He is a Mahajan. Now fools and rascals will imitate him and go to hell. Just like the fools and rascals, they imitate the Ras Leela and go to hell. Similarly, less fortunate people, they imitate Nityananda. They will not imitate that activity of Lord Nityananda, where he's going door to door and begging everybody to chant. They will imitate only these kind of activities of Lord Nityananda. So therefore, they will go to hell. So Haridas Thakur, when he was telling these pastimes of Advaita Acharya came in ecstasy. And Advaita Acharya said, you don't know what these two brothers are going to do very soon. You see, just because Lord Nityananda has desired, very soon these two brothers, Jagai and Madhai, will be delivered. The glory of our life is just to wait and watch what these two brothers will do tomorrow. Like that, Advaita Acharya explained Haridas Thakur, and Haridas Thakur was like, yeah, let's see what's happening tomorrow. So tomorrow, Lord Nityananda came to Haridas and he said, next day, he said, let's go. Haridas Thakur said, today I will not come with you. So Lord Nityananda said, fine, I will go alone. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu, this time he went from a path on the outskirts of the village where nobody would obstruct him to reach to Jagai and Madhai. And he again approached them, found them in the same destitute condition, having committed even more sins since yesterday. And he asked them the same thing. Bolo Krishna bhajo Krishna, koro Krishna shiksha. And this time they became more angry. They said that yesterday you were saved from us. Today nobody can save you from us. And then Madhai, who was drinking liquor from a pot, he took that pot and then he threw it with all the force on the head of Lord Nityananda, and it struck him. And blood started coming out from the head of Lord Nityananda. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita describes, it looked as if a snow-capped mountain is emitting red color lava from some volcano. That's how it looked. A white mountain, a red liquid coming out from it. That was the description. But the greatness of a personality can be judged to the degree to which he remains unprovoked in provoking circumstances. And after being hit, the first thing which Lord Nityananda did was he made a statement. He said, my dear son Madhai, now that you have hit me and blood is now coming out of my head, are you now satisfied? This was the first thing which he said. And the second thing which he asked was, just because you have hit me, does this mean that I will not give you love of God? This was the second statement which he made. And when Jagai, the brother of Madhai, heard these two statements, he came to his proper sane consciousness. He said that, wait. We are not dealing with some ordinary person here. This is no saint or no Mahatma. He must be the Supreme Personality. And then Madhai said that, Jagai, you are speaking rubbish, just shut up, I will just go and kill this person now. And he again went on to hit Lord Nityananda, but this time Jagai stopped the hand of Madhai. And he stopped him from being hit by Madhai. But by this time, Lord Chaitanya had got information that Lord Nityananda has been hit. And Lord Chaitanya became so angry that from wherever he was, he just got up and he quickly ran to the place where Lord Nityananda was hit. He ran very fast, so much so that nobody could keep up with him. And he reached that place and no questions asked. Immediately he summoned the chakra, Sudarshan chakra, by shouting, Chakra, Chakra. And the chakra manifested in his fingers. And everybody in Navadvip came to know he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And with that chakra, he was just about to kill Jagai and Madhai. And Jagai and Madhai, when they saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead with the Sudarshan chakra in his hand, Lord Chaitanya, they were completely bewildered, afraid. Just like Arjuna was shaking out of fear in front of the Virat Rupa, Jagai and Madhai was shaking in front of Lord Chaitanya out of fear. The whole village came to know that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then as he was about to kill Jagai and Madhai, immediately Lord Nityananda caught hold of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and he said, My dear Lord, if I have ever served you, if I have ever done anything to you which has given you even a slight tinge of happiness, in return of all my services to you, you please give these two men to me in charity. So when Lord Chaitanya heard this, he stopped. And then Lord Nityananda continued talking. He said, My dear Lord Chaitanya, in this incarnation of yours, it is my desire that you don't kill anybody. Rather, you kill the demonic propensity in the hearts of everybody. Because if you start killing, in this incarnation, you are not supposed to kill, my Lord. Because if you start killing, then the whole of Kali Yuga is full of Jagai and Madhai. Whom will you kill and whom will you leave? You'll have to wipe out the whole planet. So it is my desire that, my dear Patit Pavan Lord Chaitanya, it is my desire, it is my request to you, that instead of killing them, you please deliver them. Make them pure devotees of Lord Krishna. And when Lord Chaitanya heard this, tears started coming out of his eyes. And he said that there is no limit to your mercy, Lord Nityananda. Because they had offended you, so it was not even in my power to forgive them. But because you are petitioning, I forgive them. And then Jagai immediately took the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and put it on his chest and started offering beautiful prayers. Lord Nityananda Prabhu said that this Jagai is the greatest saint. When Madhai was about to hit me, he saved me. Hearing this, Lord Chaitanya embraced Jagai, and simply by his embrace, Jagai got the love of God, Krishna Prem. And then Madhai was seeing all this and he was thinking, this is unfair. Jagai, I was his partner in crime, he was my partner in crime. There are same sinful activities we have done. Why is it so that only he is getting delivered and I am not getting the mercy? He went with the same appeal to Lord Chaitanya in a very humble way. Lord Chaitanya rejected him. He said that you have offended Lord Nityananda. Even I cannot save you. You go with your prayer to Lord Nityananda. If he agrees to forgive you, then there is some hope for you. It is not in my power to save you. You are doomed for eternity. Like that Lord Chaitanya told Madhai. Madhai became so afraid that he went and fell at the feet of Lord Nityananda and he said that God has rejected me. Now only you can save me. So Lord Nityananda picked him up and embraced him. And he said that if I have got any mercy of Lord Chaitanya, may all that mercy go to you. And in this way, even if Lord Chaitanya wouldn't want to give mercy to someone, Lord Nityananda would do something to ensure that Lord Chaitanya would give mercy to that person. And in this way, Lord Nityananda forced Lord Chaitanya to give mercy to Madhai. And by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, both of them became the foremost saints of their times. Yamaraj, when he saw this pastime happening, the Sankirtan Leela, where Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda delivered the two most sinful people of the whole creation, Yamaraj fainted in ecstasy. Actually, after this, Lord Chaitanya calls both Jagai and Madhai into the Sankirtan of Srivas Thakur's Angan, Srivas Thakur's courtyard. And then he actually assumes the sinful reactions of Jagai and Madhai. And just to show that how sinful reactions can be easily contradicted or easily counteracted by the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He did this pastime. He called Jagai and Madhai, Lord Chaitanya called Jagai and Madhai, and he told that from today, I order that nobody should consider them as criminals because they have got the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Everybody should accept them as foremost saints because Lord Nityananda has given them his mercy. And then Advaita Acharya was nudging Haridas Thakur and telling, now you see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will do. Now you are going to see something which you have never seen or ever heard of. And Lord Chaitanya started dancing ecstatically in the kirtan. And then Jagai and Madhai were sitting at his lotus feet offering him prayers. And then very slowly and steadily and gradually, but again almost completely, the golden complexion of Lord Chaitanya became dark blackish. And Advaita Acharya was laughing and telling that now you are looking like Krishna. And then Lord Chaitanya told that I have assumed all the sinful reactions of Jagai and Madhai. Now I request all of you to chant Hare Krishna. So everybody started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then gradually the blackish complexion went back and golden complexion came back. So this is one of the pastime which Lord Chaitanya did just to show everybody that the holy name can counteract all sinful reactions, provided one does not do it with a mentality that, okay, I will commit sins, chant Hare Krishna, then again commit sins, chant Hare Krishna, then again commit sins and chant Hare Krishna. No. If somebody has taken a solemn resolve that I will come to the path of righteousness and not take part in sinful activities and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And in this way, I will worship the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. That person can be saved from any kind of future or past sinful activities. And when Yamaraj saw this, he fainted. When Lord Shiva saw this pastime, he started dancing in ecstasy, so much ecstasy that his clothes fell off. And he was shouting, Gauranga, 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 Chaitanya, Nityananda, like that Lord Shiva was shouting. And Brahmaji was also not able to offer proper prayers because of, and Yamaraj was in ecstasy, he fainted. Imagine he had put separate department with Chitragupta and he didn't know what to do. And the supremely independent Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they just changed everything in a moment. So that is the power of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And that is the degree of guarantee which one gets to receive the mercy of Lord Chaitanya via the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So therefore, how much more merciful is Lord Nityananda, we cannot imagine. And how much more grateful and how much more we should hope against hope to receive the mercy of Lord Nityananda. The whole of Chaitanya Charitamrita is full of such pastimes where really Lord Chaitanya has rejected people, but Lord Nityananda has forced Lord Chaitanya to give him his mercy. There is one more pastime, the pastime of Kala Krishna Das. So Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at the age of 24. Again, this is another pastime which I will explain sometime in detail. But for now, you understand that he took sannyas in order to preach everybody and save them from the curse of nullism and voidism and atheism. And then after taking sannyas, he decided to go to the southern part of India. Because at that time in the southern part of India, a lot of nullism, voidism and impersonalism was going on. Crocodiles of false philosophy were prevalent. So Lord Chaitanya wanted to come down and preach everybody the eternal principles of Sanatana Dharma. So Lord Nityananda told that, okay, you take someone, you take me with you. Lord Chaitanya said, no, I will not take. Previously, Lord Nityananda could not bear the sight of Lord Chaitanya carrying a sannyas danda. Sannyasis, they carry a danda, staff. He said, my Supreme Lord, who is Vishwambhar, the maintainer of the entire creation, he also needs support to walk. I can't see this. Actually, Lord Chaitanya also didn't want to have a staff. But somehow it ended up in his hand. So Lord Nityananda could understand this mood of Lord Chaitanya. So one day he took the danda, sannyas danda of Lord Chaitanya and broke it into 3 pieces and threw it in the river. And when Lord Chaitanya came and asked, where is my danda? So Lord Nityananda told, see, you were dancing in ecstasy. You fell upon me. And I fell upon the danda. And in this way the danda broke. So Lord Chaitanya showed some external anger that I will not stay with Lord Nityananda. He has cheated me, and he is the only thing which I had as a sannyasi was a danda, and he took that also away from me. If I stay with him, he will force me to break my sannyas vows also. So like this, he said, no, Lord Nityananda cannot come. Already he had cheated Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya wanted to go to Vrindavan, but Lord Nityananda wanted to arrange a last meeting between him and his mother, Lord Chaitanya, and his mother Shachi. So he transcendentally cheated Lord Chaitanya. He told some of the boys that, okay, when a sannyasi comes in this way and asks you the path of Vrindavan, don't say this direction, but say that direction. And instead of going to Vrindavan, Lord Chaitanya ended up in Shantipur. And there, Lord Nityananda came and he said, this is Yamuna, and he jumped into the Yamuna. And in this way, he arranged a meeting. After that, there are a few more incidents where Advaita Acharya comes and tells Lord Chaitanya that, my dear Lord Chaitanya, wherever you are, there only is Vrindavan. Why do you want to go to Vrindavan? So since that time, Lord Chaitanya was thinking, I cannot stay with Lord Nityananda. He is the transcendental director and he can change anything. Even the course of my pastimes, he can edit. I don't want to be with him. So he said, I'll not take Lord Nityananda with me. Then somebody said, okay, take Mukunda with you. So he said, I cannot take Mukunda with me. Whenever I sleep on the floor or whenever I do austerities, Mukunda hides his face and keeps crying. His tears, they break my heart. I don't want a person with me who's always crying to see me doing some austerity. I will not take Mukunda also. So like that, few names were being suggested and Lord Chaitanya was expressing his love in an indirect way for all of them by rejecting all of them. And in this way, through his pastimes, Lord Chaitanya was absolutely submerging everybody's heart into pools of ecstasy. And everybody was simply more and more falling in love with Lord Chaitanya by these dealings of his. And then ultimately Lord Nityananda said, okay, you take this Kalya Krishna Das. He's a young devotee, very young Brahmin. And he doesn't have, he will not say anything. He will just take care of your clothes and follow you. So Lord Chaitanya said, okay, I will take him. But it so happened during the South Indian tour, which lasted for 6 years, and it very nicely it is described where and all Lord Chaitanya went and whom and all he talked with, where he stayed and which temples he took darshan of, which acharyas he met. Everything is documented. In the course of the South Indian tour, it so happened that there was a gypsy camp called as the Bhatta Haris, who would attract high-profile males in the society and bring them into their community and beget children from them, because they were of the opinion, and that is the correct opinion, that if you beget children from high-class, high-profile males who have followed the Garbhan, Samskar and other things, and who follow the Vedic culture, if you beget children from them, then these children will grow up to be very nice robbers and thieves. Just like the grandfather of Ravana planned that, yes, I should send my daughter to this rishi, and through him, I should get a grandson. And this grandson, although half Brahmin and half Rakshasa, will be able to control the whole planets. So that was the idea. So somehow these Bhattaharis, they managed to attract Kali Krishna Das. And Kala Krishna Das, he left Lord Chaitanya. Again, this pastime has deeper meanings, that it may be possible that you may be staying with God, but if you do not tightly catch hold of the lotus feet and the lotus instructions of the Lord, then even if you are with Krishna, you can be in Maya. So Kala Krishna Das, he actually left Lord Chaitanya, went to the gypsy camp and started staying with the prostitutes there. So Lord Chaitanya went to rescue him. They attacked him with weapons. All the weapons flew back and cut the hands and the legs of the people who were attacking Lord Chaitanya. And then Lord Chaitanya caught hold of the shikha of Kala Krishna Das and he dragged him out and saved him from that association. The South Indian tour continued for some more time. Lord Chaitanya didn't say anything. And he allowed him to serve, allowed Kala Krishna Das to serve him. But when he came back to Jagannath Puri, the first thing which he did is he called Nityananda Prabhu and he said, oh, just look at the character of the person whom you gave to me. He went to the Bhattahari's camp and started staying with prostitutes, leaving me alone. My dear Lord Nityananda, just because he was your man, I allowed him to stay with me. Otherwise, I would have thrown him out. And Lord Nityananda, you know what he did after that? He chastised him a little bit to Kala Krishna Das. And then he said, okay, you don't worry. Lord Chaitanya said, I don't want to see the face of this man in my life again. And when Lord Chaitanya says something, you better obey. And he was very grave when he said that. He was a sannyasi. And Lord Nityananda said to Kala Krishna Das, don't worry. You go to Navadvip, the mother of Lord Chaitanya, Shachi Mata, is there. You go and give her the news that, Lord, your son has returned after the South Indian tour. And you take this Jagannath Puri Prasadam and you stay there and serve her for some time. Just see, God is rejecting someone, but Nityananda Prabhu is again engaging that person in God's service. And Lord Chaitanya knew what's happening. And he cannot say no to Lord Nityananda. And therefore, Kala Krishna Das was engaged in the service of Shachi Mata in her old age. And it is because of the stories and the pastimes which he narrated to the devotees, such as Swarup Damodar, Ramanand Rai. It is only because of him we have the entire record of the South Indian tour in the books of Chaitanya Charitamrita and other biographies of Lord Chaitanya. So in this way, Lord Nityananda, although Lord Chaitanya told, I never want to see his face, he engaged him more in the service of the Lord. And we are so grateful to him now. Lesson to be learned from this pastime. If you want to be a direct servant of God, if you make a mistake, God can ask you to leave. But if you become a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of God, then your position is very safe. You will be saved and you will be protected. Just like Lord Nityananda saved Kala Krishna Das. So therefore, we should not try to become direct servants of Radha and Krishna. We should try to become Gopi, Bhartur, Pad Kamalayor, Dasa, Dasanudas. We should try to become servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Radha and Krishna. This should be our aspiration. So Lord Nityananda has done many such transcendentally ecstatic, mad pastimes. Anybody who hears the pastimes of Lord Nityananda goes in ecstasy. What to speak of Lord Nityananda, even the associates of Lord Nityananda, like Murari Gupta and Hriday Chaitanya and others, they would run in the night in the forest, find a tiger and slap the tiger, and they would say, chant Hare Krishna. And then they would sit on the tiger and ride. Don't try this, by the way. These are the transcendental associates of Lord Nityananda. There is this very famous pastime of Pani Hati, which is called as, wrote Dand Leela. Basically, he punished Raghunath Das Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami was not able to attain the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya because he was directly trying to access Lord Chaitanya. He didn't know the secret. The secret to attain the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya is to go through Lord Nityananda. In this Kali Yuga, it is not possible to attain the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna without the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And it is not possible to attain the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya without the mercy of Nityananda. So therefore, the Acharyas have said that if you want to attain the Radha and Krishna, then better stick to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, who will take you to Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya will take you to Radha and Krishna, because he is non-different from Krishna himself. So therefore, the Acharyas are singing, Nitai Pad Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala Je Chhaya Jagat Jurai Heno Nitai Bin Bhai Radha Krishna Paite Nai Dridha Koryo Dhoro Nitair Pai. The Acharyas are saying, Nitai Pada Kamala, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, Koti Chandra Sushitala, they are like millions of moons, the cooling rays of millions of moons shining together. Koti Chandra Sushitala Je Chhaya Jagat Jurai. Under the shade of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, the whole world can forget all their quarrels and hypocrisies and differences and can get united. Everybody is telling about brotherhood, 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 brotherhood. But there cannot be any brotherhood until you accept a common father. And that father is Lord Nityananda. Je Chhaya Jagat Jurai Heno Nitai Bin Bhai Radha Krishna Paite Nai. Without the mercy of Lord Nityananda, one cannot enter into the association of Radha and Krishna. Because without Lord Nityananda, you cannot get Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And one who has not pleased Lord Chaitanya, he has no destination. Dridha Kori Dhoro Nitair Pai. Just tightly hold on to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Actually, there are some more very nice lines in that bhajan. Please allow me to sing that to you. 2-3 more minutes. This is one of my favorite bhajans, Nitai Pad Kamala. Very nicely, Narottam Das Thakur has only written this. Just see his sentiments. I sang the first paragraph for you. Second paragraph says, Se sambandha nahi jara Britha janma gelotara Se pashu bodo durachara. Narottam Das Thakur is saying that one who has not established his relationship with Lord Nityananda, Se sambandha nahi jara Britha janma gelotara. Their human birth has been spoiled. Sei pashu bodo durachara. One who does not know Lord Nityananda, he is an animal. Because one who does not serve Lord Nityananda, one who does not know who is Lord Nityananda, his senses can never be controlled. So the key to sense control is rendering service to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. And one who cannot control his senses, he is an animal. Sei pashu bodo durachar nitaina bolilo mukhe majilo samsara sukhe. One who does not utter the word name Nityananda from his mouth, he will be completely engrossed in the shackles of material conditioned life. He'll be lost in the samsara sukh. Actually, he's suffering, but he'll think he's happy, just like a donkey. Vidya kule ki kori betar. What will his so-called great learning, education, and high birth in high family do for him? Vidya kule ki kori betar. He should not be proud of his material knowledge and high birth and high parentage and beauty and good looks and wealth and etc. etc. There's no value. So that is what is being told about Lord Nityananda. So very soon we are approaching Nityananda Trayodashi. I can go on talking about Lord Nityananda, but unfortunately I see that the time is over. I will just explain to you very, very briefly how to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And then we'll end this discussion. And I will hope and I will pray that you will continue to prepare your consciousness to receive Lord Nityananda in your life on the 14th of February. The Srimad-Bhagavatam says, Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribhir Edhavana Madah Puman Naiva Hartya Vidhatum Vai Tvama Kinchana Gocharam. This is a statement by Mother Kunti to Lord Krishna when he is leaving for Dwarka after the Mahabharata war. Mother Kunti is telling, my Lord, your lordship can be easily approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. That means those who have this Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta and Shri, high birth, a lot of wealth, extremely well educated and very beautiful. These people who have these things, they are very puffed up. Whenever I go to meet some rich people, many times they just say, just leave please, I don't want to talk to you. They are so puffed up. They don't even say please. They just shut the door. Or they leave their dogs sometimes. Similarly, one who are having a very high parentage, they are very proud. They'll say, oh, we are Goswamis from this place. We cannot talk to you. It actually happens in the Indian subcontinent. And those who have a very high PhD, master's degree, they are so contaminated. Their soul has been slaughtered so systematically in their universities and schools that they cannot take up to devotional service. They cannot feelingly chant Hare Krishna. And forget about those people who are very beautiful. They will be so much in the bodily consciousness of life, and they will be so much trying to use their beauty to get their material means satisfied that they will be ready to go to hell after that. So these are some natural disqualifications. Even after having high parentage, good education, beautiful body and a lot of wealth, if somebody is still a devotee of Krishna, that means we should understand that they have got some mercy from some devotee. Otherwise, these are natural disqualifications for bhakti, because it makes one puffed up. So therefore, Lord Mother Kunti is saying that, my dear Lord, your lordship can be easily approached only by those who are materially exhausted. That means one who has confirmed and understood that my beauty, my wealth, my high parentage, my high education, my degree, my resources, my family, my gun, nothing can save me except the mercy of Lord Krishna. Such a person is called as Akinchana. He may be having a lot of money, he may be having everything, but he thinks that only the lotus feet of Lord Krishna are my only property. So only such people can approach Lord Krishna. And then Mother Kunti says, on one who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. So how to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda? Why I am discussing this verse? We have to have a humble heart. Mercy means to get something which we don't deserve. Mercy means to get something which we don't deserve. So therefore, we have to be very humbly begging in front of Lord Nityananda, freed from the false puffed upness of our high parentage, high education, beauty and wealth. And we have to very sincerely, feelingly, with a lot of humility, beg in front of Lord Nityananda that please take me. Lord, the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya are your property, my dear Lord. And the goal of my life is to reach the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. You please help me. Only one who begs like this will get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And another thing which we can do is follow in the footsteps of Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda was told, Shuno Suno, Nityananda, Suno Haridas, Sarvatra Amara Agya, Koroho Prakash. And then he said, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. So we should also follow in the footsteps of Lord Nityananda, praying to him, go door to door, beg people to chant Hare Krishna. The two things we can do. Number one has to not be puffed up and one has to be humble in their prayers to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And second thing, one has to preach. If you really want to feel the mercy of Lord Nityananda, you do these two things. And then I can personally guarantee you, he will personally interfere in your life and take you home back to Godhead. This I can tell you for sure. So therefore, because Nityananda Triyodashi is being celebrated in this month of February, we declare this month of February as the preacher's month. And the motto of this month is each one teach one while being taught by one. So all of you, some of you couldn't wait and have left. But those of you who have stayed, my request to you is, you are being taught here in this Gita course and you are receiving those teachings. But then it is also good if you can also teach someone. So therefore, I request all of you to take a vrata in this month of Nityananda Triyodashi that bring one person from your area, wherever you stay. Bring one new person to this Gita course. That's the best way you can teach. And generally, how I teach is that whatever I know, I teach. Otherwise, I just connect them to my seniors. Similarly, you also do the same. Whatever you know, whatever you can preach, you preach. But then also bring them to this Gita course session and connect them to us. Each one can bring one. We are not asking you to bring two people. We are asking you to bring only one person to this Gita course. And that will be your heartfelt offering to Lord Nityananda. That, my dear Lord, I am offering you one soul. You please take care of this soul. And in this way, let's celebrate Nityananda Triyodashi. Number one, let's try to be humble and let's try to pray to him. He can really give Lord Chaitanya to anybody. Dina hina jata chilo hari nama uddharilo tara sakshi jagayan madhai. All the most fallen conditioned souls can be delivered by Lord Nityananda, and the proof of this is Jagayan Madhai. So let's very feelingly, in a very humble mood, we should pray to Lord Nityananda that you are Premananda Sukhi and I am very Dukhi. You please help me. And then, how can we show Lord Nityananda that we are serious to receive your mercy? We will try to bring one person to this Gita course and offer that soul. Minimum one person. You can bring 10 people also, no problem. But try to bring one person to this Gita course and try to offer that soul to Lord Nityananda in this month of Nityananda Trayodashi, in the preacher's month. And in this way, certainly we will get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Another special announcement for all of you. On the 13th of February, one day before Nityananda Trayodashi, which is on 14th of February. 14th of February is a Monday. So there will be some special session on Monday, 14th of February. I request all of you to participate in this extraordinary festival, which only the most intelligent people of this planet will be celebrating. So I request all of you to be available for the celebrations of Nityananda Trayodashi online, or if you have the access to go to the nearby ISKCON temples, go there. But yes, here also we will do something. But on one day before is Varaha Dwadashi. Nityananda Trayodashi Monday, 14th February, Varaha Dwadashi 13th Sunday, February. Something very special is happening. The first special thing is that it is Varaha Dwadashi. That is the day when Lord Varaha lifted the earthly planetary system from the Garbhodak ocean. And on that day, we are also inaugurating a new center of ISKCON in Bangalore. So the area in Bangalore where I'm preaching, it's called as Kadugodi or Kannamangala, whatever you can say, commonly known as Kadugodi. So there, I've been in touch with one person who had a Goshala, a cow shed, which was not being used. And in the last 2 months, we have been working with him and we have converted that cow shed into a nice hall with lots of facilities and a beautiful altar, a nice sound system, a nice place to sit, nice lighting, some smaller halls attached to it where we can do some bhakti rickshaws and other small programs, a fully equipped kitchen where we can cook for 250, 300 people, a small office where devotees can have meetings. We call it as ISKCON Bhakti Center, Kannamangala. So maybe somebody can post the Google map location of that also. So on the 13th of February, we will not have the regular, mostly we will not have the regular Gita course session of the evening. Rather, we will celebrate a Mahamilan. Rather, we will celebrate a Mahamilan festival where I will invite all of you to come physically to this inauguration of this center, which I have been asked to head. And then there are future plans to expand the center in the next 2 years, 3 years. So I want all of you to come bless this center. The temple president will also be invited. He will give a talk, and then many, many things will happen on that day. So I want all of you to come take part in the inauguration of this ISKCON Bhakti Center, which is in Kannamangala and in Bangalore. And we call it Mahamilan. We will have nice Katha on Varahadev, the Varaha incarnation of the Lord. And then there'll be some very nice, pleasing, heart-soothing announcements. And the most important part, there'll be a heartfelt feast. We are going to cook to our heart's content, and you can honor the Krishna Prasad to your heart's content. And we will dance together, feast together, chant together. And then it is my desire that slowly I want these Gita courses to go physical. Right now I'm in a small room and I'm just giving a class and only a camera is in front of me and one of my friends is sitting in front of me, but he's doing his own thing and I'm doing my own thing. This is not the right environment. So he's saying occasionally he hears what I'm saying, but then he continues his work also. Okay, you don't hear at all? Okay, good for you. So, moving on, we want to have these sessions physically in this Bhakti Center, Kannamangala Bhakti Center. You please come there, even if it is a half an hour or 45 minutes drive for you, for at least for those who are in Bangalore, you please drive there. It's a very beautiful scenic place. It's in a village. Outside our center, some cows will be tied up. You can take darshan of some cows. Next to the center, there's a very nice lake. You can go for a walk. Next to the center are some fields where some vegetables and other things are being grown. It's a perfect place in the mode of goodness where Krishna has gifted us this center. And we want to make it very active, very vibrant. And it is my desire that slowly and steadily this Gita course should go physical. So, of course, those who want to attend online, the camera will always be there. But at least for those who are in Bangalore, in whichever part of Bangalore you are, you please drive at least on a Sunday and let's have Krishna Katha together. And let's have a lot of Krishna Prasadam together. We have tried to build a nice altar there. So let's take darshan of Shri Gandharvika Girdhari and Mahaprabhu together. Let's worship the Panchatattva together. Let's take part in Aarti. Let's take part in Sankirtan, dancing Sankirtan. And let's actually feel the D element of Krishna consciousness. We are getting association. We are getting the message from Bhagavad Gita. We are chanting. But the diet, prasadam, is missing. So let's partake that prasadam to our heart's content and actually complete our entire Krishna consciousness, ABCD, in this process. So that is why I took this Nityananda Trayodashi special session today only, because 13th is the inauguration. I don't know how occupied I would be in the evening. So I didn't want to miss this opportunity to take this, to assist all of you in preparing your consciousness. And in the process of speaking Nityananda Katha, I wanted to purify my own filthy heart also. So that was the reason we did Nityananda Kathamritam today. I congratulate all of you who have heard the inconceivable pastimes of Lord Nityananda. Always remember that there is unlimited prospect and inconceivable hope in the mercy of Lord Nityananda. I repeat, there is unlimited prospect and inconceivable hope in the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Even if God rejects someone, Lord Nityananda, when approached with a feeling of humility and with a desire to preach the message of Krishna consciousness, Lord Nityananda can save even a person whom God has rejected. That is the glory of Lord Nityananda. So let's prepare our consciousness for Nityananda Trayodashi. 13th is Varadvadashi. It is the inauguration of yet another Vaikuntha-like center of Srila Prabhupada, which will be called as ISKCON Bhakti Center Kanamangla. So in the daytime only, in the morning, there will be some programs. It's a Mahamilan and all of you are invited. And 14th evening, that is Monday, is the Nityananda Trayodashi. Again, online, we will do some nice programs which may include Abhishekam and other things. I invite all of you to participate in that also. So lots of things are coming up. Those who are just like when the Virat Rupa was being displayed, those people who were spiritually awake, they took the benefit of seeing the Virat Rupa. Similarly, great times are coming ahead. Those who are spiritually eager, spiritually awake, spiritually humble, and spiritually greedy to receive preaching opportunities, they will get a lot of mercy in the coming weeks. So with this, I would like to conclude today's session. If there are any questions or comments, they are welcome. I can see lots of comments here. Okay, so we have posted the address of ISKCON Bhakti Center Kanamangla. My request to all of you is that you go to this, we have created this new address in the Google map. So in order to make this more easier for people to find, you need to go to this Bhakti Center's address and give some nice ratings and, express your anxiety that, yes, I want to come. It's a great place, something like that you say, so that when somebody types this in Google, it easily comes up. So please do that service. And 13th of February, please come to the inauguration of this center. It is a Mahamilan. From whichever part of Bangalore you are or from whichever part of India you would like to come, please do so. Okay, any other questions or comments? So throughout the week, I will be pushing in the groups. Timing, I will let you know. It's in the first half in the morning only, because our temple president is not free in the evening. So we are adjusting our schedule accordingly. So I will let you know. And throughout the week, we will be pushing some content related to Lord Nityananda, some audio clippings related to the pastimes of Lord Nityananda, some details which will help you to understand the Nityananda Tattva more and more. And it is our job to ensure that your consciousness will be prepared for Nityananda Trayodashi. And you will become Sumedhashaha, the most intelligent people who are worshipping Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Timings, we will let you know. Exact, we are still working out the agenda. So we will let you know in the timings. It will be in the first half only. It may start sometime around 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. at the max. Something like that. Okay, so with that, we would like to end today's discussions. Should we chant one round together? Those who are in favor of chanting one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra together, please raise your hands. The session is officially over. Those who want, they can leave also. Okay, so let's get our bead bags. And please don't forget that this is the preacher's month. And we should try to get one new person and offer that soul as an offering to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda in this 1 month. Each one teach one while being taught by one. That is our motto for this preacher's month. I'm trying to speak about it in all the sessions, and I'm requesting everybody, let's become spiritually awake to all the preaching opportunities that are around us. Okay. Even some people are attending from abroad. I think Ganga Mataji is there today. I don't know if she's there. Yeah, she's there. And then another person, Hiru Kriplani is also there, and two, three other people are also there. So all of you also try to bring some people from your respective places. The idea is everybody should get one person minimum. And then we will try to preach to them. If possible, Hiru Kirpalani Prabhu is giving his confirmation. If at all, if it is possible, we can try to start a separate batch at a separate time for people from different parts of the world. Slowly, we will train Hiru Prabhu so that he can only become a preacher and preach to them. That is my idea. So we have to just expand and become instruments to spread the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So wherever you are, try to preach, be humble, chant Hare Krishna. Motto is very simple. Chant Hare Krishna and preach. In order to chant Hare Krishna, you have to be humble. And when you preach, that will also make you humble. So chant Hare Krishna and preach. These are the two things which we have to do. And if we do these two things and only these two things, then we are certain to receive the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So wherever you are, try to preach and try to connect the people to this Gita course and come to the inauguration on 13th of February. And let's become spiritually awake, spiritually determined, spiritually patient, and spiritually enthusiastic for the Nityananda Trayodashi, which is on 14th of February. With that, let's try to chant one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra together. If you may so desire, you may turn on your videos so that we can see you and get your association and we can chant together. I also need to know who are my students because most of the students I have never met. So it is good if I can see you sometimes. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram